Hello, Kitchen Stitchers. This is Arlene. Thank you for joining me today from your kitchens or your chairs or your workplace. I found out one of you who follows from Portugal actually gets to watch this from her office, which is really fun that you can do that from work. I'm sounding a little stuffy. Today is what day is it? It's Tuesday, February 26th. It's still February, so I still have my February tall guys up. Haven't gotten the March one out yet. But I caught a cold while I was in Columbus and I went into a sinus infection, so I'm on meds to make that better, but I've got that low, grumbly, sexy voice now. So I wanted to say first, thank you everyone for your very, very kind words and encouragement. You really do not know how much that meant, so it was very helpful. Thank you so much. I had a number of you who had put down to get one of the Just Nan pieces that I was giving away, so I will pull that in a little bit. I also wanted to let you know that I received a card from Judy, I think it's Jenkins, and she was so sweet. She loved the Samsara owl pattern, and so she sent some stash to give away. Two Nora Corbett's. This one is a lady and a dog, Christmas lady and a dog. So if you want this, go ahead and say lady in the comments. And Nora Corbett, this one is the one I'm currently working on and would love for someone to stitch this with me so I keep motivated to keep going. It's really not bad. Someone asked in the comments when they saw this last time if there are a lot of half stitches. I really haven't seen them. So it's been a pretty easy thing to stitch from that perspective. It's just a lot of color changes. You can see some in the shading through here. So I think it's going to be really pretty when it's all said and done. So if you want that, say slay. And then the last one is this Dog Lessons for Lizzie Kate. This is one that my daughter had asked me to do for her a couple years ago, and that was so fun that she asked me to do that. We're dog people, and so she has this hanging in her apartment now, and I love that. So I already have this, so if you would like this Dog Lessons, that would be great. Just let me know and say dog. Also, someone had asked about the pattern that I had for the leaves that were in a circle that I put up at Thanksgiving time frame. I went down memory lane and went through my box with all the patterns of the things that I have used, and I couldn't find it. So I apologize for that, but in that process I found this banner from Dimensions, and it's got Ada in here, and it's got the floss, and it's got the hanger. So if you are interested in this, here's what it looks like. Just let me know and put banner. So those are available for those of you who want to do this. Before I go on, I thought, since we're kitchen stitchers and my husband is a trained chef, and he is actually my personal chef now. He ran a corporate kitchen for a while. Big long story behind how he got to be that, but I thought that since he likes to be in the kitchen, and this is usually around this time, instead of banishing him from the kitchen to do this, that he would be maybe part of this. So I wanted to introduce my husband, if you want to come over and say hello. I will show you a picture. This is David.
Hi.
This is us. See back in the corner there, right down here, this is us in 1972, I believe. Might have been 71. That's how we met. We were part of the Cincinnati Pipe Band here. I was a dancer at the time and then eventually became a piper, and he has been a drummer, and those are tenor drumsticks that he's holding there. He does tenor and snare, and he's actually has been a competitive tenor drummer and was #1 in his region for a while when he went back to competition. So
For a day or so.
I thought, since this is Kitchen Stitchers and he'll be putzing around in the kitchen behind us working on dinner, I'm such a lucky girl, that he might be able to offer you some little kitchen tips, or if you have questions that are kitchen cooking related. I'm the baker, he's the cook. He could offer us some suggestions. So we stumbled on this one, and I thought this was kind of nice if you don't know about it. So David?
Actually, Arlene found this one and pointed it out to me, and I was truly amazed when I saw it. garlic is probably one of the most important things that we have in our kitchen. But it's kind of a pain in the neck because it's got the paper stuff around it and the skin, and it's really hard to get off, and especially when the toes are really small. So the trick that Arlene found was you cut the top and the bottom off of the toe, and you can do this with several of these, and put them in a jar. This is like a tall baby food jar.
Mm-hmm. It was actually a jar that had mushrooms in it, so they still make glass jars for some things.
And put the lid on it, give it a good shake. And it peels the paper off of the garlic. You can see the paper, or the wrapping is loose on there.
So yeah, it hasn't come off completely yet. I usually do one at a time, and it comes right off. So let's do it again.
Figures it wouldn't work.
Yeah, there. Well, it didn't work very well either. So we are failing here, but that usually works. Oh, see, it's got the split in it now, and usually it's just all falling off in there. So I would do that a couple more times in there. We're just trying to do it quickly to get out of the way here. But you can see now down at the bottom how the paper from the garlic and the garlic toe itself is separate. So that's pretty cool.
And a lot of you probably want, when you get your garlic all peeled, you want to chop it up nice and fine and just mince it out. Well, there's a really easy way to do that too, and it only takes a second. You have your cutting board, and you have your chef knife. You lay your garlic down on your cutting board, and you lay your chef knife over top of it, and just whack it really hard, and it will smash it down into unrecognizable pieces. Then you can go over it with your knife and get a nice little mince to it. So that'll save you a few minutes of work.
We like garlic. I like Italian, and
Use a lot.
it's a central part of what we make. So if you are a garlic fan, that might help you out.
Olive oil too.
Oh yeah, olive oil. Very healthy. That's healthy. So
Okay,
we're being healthy.
that's all I got.
Okay.
Bye.
So if you have any tips or questions or things that are foiling you in the kitchen, and you wanna ask a question, I'm sure he'd be happy to field it. So he went back to school after the 2007-2008 crash. He was in engineering before that, working as a CAD designer, and the Circuit City team that he was on fell apart because Circuit City went under. And so after about a year of looking, we sat down and said, okay, if you're going to do something else at this stage in life, what would that be? It's got to be something you enjoy. So we listed all his hobbies out, and then figured out what it would take to turn the hobbies into a career kind of at that point. And so he went to school and got his culinary degree and started running a corporate kitchen until we figured out how really badly that pays. So he took a retirement job, is what he calls it now, and he's a school bus driver for our local school district. Something happened. I ordered a button. I'm jumping into stitching now. I had stitched this over Christmas, and I needed to have that button, so I ordered it, and it just came in. And this made me laugh. So the button came in. It's a shepherd's bush button on Bethlehem. You can see the button there. Very fun. But what made me laugh is that they have these instructions. So it has to tell me to use my finest needle, work the needle through the holes, and stitch it in place. I'm so glad they told me that. I don't think I would ever have figured out that I would have had to use the holes to stitch the button onto, and a needle that would fit through the holes. So that made me laugh. That's my humor. We did have 39 of you asked for various ones of the Just Nan things. So, hey, David, I'm going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 39.
17.
Okay, 17 asked for Hedgie. So 17, let me mark this one here. Let's see. That is Elizabeth Martinez. So Elizabeth Martinez, this is what you selected, was for Hedgie. So I'm going to go ahead now and give me another number, David, 1 to 39.
23.
23. Sharon Worm, you have the Just Nan stocking. So if you two will send an email to me, my email address is PQUEA, P as in Paul, I, QUEA @gmail.com, and send me your address. That would be terrific. I will send those off to you. I had also put a note in here. Robbie Gruninger and Linda Hoberg, you mentioned the tall boys charts. I think what you said is you found and you started stitching some of the tall guys. I said tall boys because I think one of you said that. I'm very excited that I've got some new tall guy fans. So I think the ones you've stitched or that you picked, the charts that you mentioned, are ones that I've stitched except for one. And I can't remember which one that was, but it might have been one of the Halloween one. Oh, it's the Christmas one. I have it, but I haven't stitched that one. I have the Christmas one that looks like the Kings. And Gypsy King Stitcher says if you're ever in Fort Lauderdale, they have a shop down there called the Cross Stitch Cupboard. So come and visit them in Fort Lauderdale because apparently there aren't very many cross stitch shops down there. So that's a good thing to know. And hello to Barbara Fox from New Zealand. Thank you for your comments. I cannot thank you enough for comments. Comments are, they're just a lift to the spirit, and I just so appreciate you. I try to respond to every one of them. We had over 400 comments on the last video that I did. Thank you, thank you. Kathy Janice asked, what is a suicide lane? So I tried to describe it to her, but I had to describe it to my husband when he moved here from California. It is here, if you've got 4 lanes, so 2 going one direction, 2 going the other direction. A lot of times they'll put a lane in the middle that's double yellow line around it with turn arrows so that you can pull into that lane to turn across traffic. So you don't have to try to cross traffic all at one time or stop up traffic while you're waiting to turn. So we just around here call that the suicide lane. So that was funny, and I know that made him laugh. Rosanna Velasquez asked what my Instagram was. I really, honestly, you'll have to help me with that. I have an Instagram. It's the same as my email address, not without the @gmail.com. It's PQUEA, P as in Paul, I, QUEA. But honestly, I haven't really used it because I don't know. I don't know why. So I'm on Facebook, and so I Facebook with, keep up with family and friends. But I haven't really done Instagram that much, though I like to watch some of the stitchy stuff that's out there. Carla Aker, I think that's her last name, Aker or Eker. She said, what is the device I use to end thread? So I'm not sure what she's asking in terms of device. What I have found through FlossTube community, honestly, is how to do the pin stitch. And if you want me to give you more detail on pin stitch, or you can look that up on YouTube, it's really pretty easy. But I would always hate to do single thread stitching because of having to start and end stitches, especially the popcorn stitches, those single stitches that are around. And now with pin stitching, I love it. It's been like life-changing for me. So in a pin stitch or in a cross stitch, if you want to end a stitch with a single thread, basically what you do is you come, so where the X's are, you come up through the hole that's in the middle of the X at the top or the bottom, and then you go down underneath the top thread through the middle hole that the X's cover. And then you come back up through the opposite end. So if you started at the bottom, you come up in the hole in the middle, and then you do the same thing, go under that first stitch and put your thread through that middle hole that's covered by the X. So it's pretty easy and it works really well. So anyway, that's what were some of the comments on the questions. Oh, Pern, this is the book that I read. Pern has a ton of novels. Anne McCaffrey wrote them. She apparently passed away in 2011, and her daughter Gigi McCaffrey wrote this, which I was so excited to see another Pern novel. If you are Pern fans, that's great. I'm happy to send this to somebody who would like to read it. I would tell you, if you're not a Pern fan, you probably don't want to start with this one because it assumes a lot of back history. So I would start with something like the Dragon Riders of Pern if you like this stuff. It's fun, but what I really love about her novels is just how she develops out characters, and the next novel is like a snapshot in from the first novel and takes you in on the journey of one of the characters in there. So, but what was really fun about this is I found her on Facebook, and so I sent her a note and I thanked her for writing and bringing Pern back, and she responded. So that's, I think, one of the cool things about social media is that you can get in touch with people that you would never even think to do before. Color and Cotton, here was their monthly thread. I've switched over to their fabric of the month, so hopefully that will come in. In terms of things that I finished, I did actually finish the Le Petit Chaperon Rouge, which is the Little Red Riding Hood. I did a little different because the fabric that I used was that sparkly and it's a little lighter in the background. I didn't think that the white really popped out for the figures at the top. So the first thing I did was I tried to use kind of a light pink, but that really didn't do it for me at the top. So I outlined her with the pink that was in here. I'm not sure that I love that. But the pinks that I had were just a little too glaring. I think if I were to do that again, I'd find a pink that was somewhere in between this color pink and the pinkish yellow that looks there. And I did a little outline with gray on this one so you can see him a little bit better. So that's not too bad, but that was fun to finish that up. I finished that up on Sunday, and then I received from Heart and Hand their February, so I finished that last night. So that was fun. So now I'm kind of in between, except for the sleigh. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up and do next. They sent me March at the same time, so I'll probably start that this weekend because those go pretty quickly. I'm thinking maybe about this one, the Fairy Village, so that could be kind of fun. I did the Halloween, no, it was the gingerbread square back in the fall, so that'll be fun to stick in that little tray that I did. This was the Heart and Hand. No, Hands on Design. I said the wrong thing. It's Hands on Design because I had February, and this I had done January, and this is February, and March is next. So that's going to be fun. I got those, by the way, from Beach Cottage Stitchers, and I got a couple of things in the mail from them all at the same time, and I have to tell you, I love working with Beach Cottage Stitchers. The way they send stuff is so classy. So this is the the bag that came with the Beach Cottage Stitchers kit for February, and it's the same for March. And it's just a pretty little bag. I'm terrible. I don't want to throw it away because it's just so pretty, and it says thank you. Isn't that nice? And it's got all the information of the count of the fabric and everything on the back, and you can see when they kit things up, they've got the nice selvaged edge for the fabric, so that was really nice. And they put it all in this nice little bag. I'm so bad about that stuff. My husband, God bless him, he's very patient with me. But at the same time, I got the latest Just Nan mouse, Frosty Chillingsworth. I think she's coming out with another one here March 1st, so I'll have to check out what that is. So that'll be a good stitch for this next Christmas, I think. It's got a little Christmas tree on the back. And maybe at some point in time I'll share one of those with you too. And then I know that I do a lot of stitching, but I don't always finish it up because there's only so much wall space, and I do switch out my things. But I'm always looking for something a little different. And so on the Beach Cottage site, I had seen this Americana shadow box. And of course, it's a Faithworks design. And Beach Cottage does a nice job of packaging it all together. So they sent the box. Isn't that a nice looking box? It's not too thick. And you can paint it, which is going to be fun. And I haven't even opened it yet, but they have the little button pack that goes with it. So there's looks like it's the hat with the candle, and looks like a sheep and a star. And then it's got the fabric, which the fabric's gorgeous. And it's a mystery sample, so I've got the first one, and then they will auto ship the rest of it. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's just regular DMC floss, so it's no big deal. And of course you can ship out whatever, but the designs will be released monthly, so I guess by July it'll all be ready to be, or June it'll all be ready to roll, so that'll be kind of fun. This might be a next one. I found this one. I don't remember where I found this one, to be quite honest, but that's one of my favorite sayings. I don't really like the colors, so I'm gonna kind of play with the colors. I'll probably use my color and cotton colors to figure out something fun to stitch it with. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I think it came with the fabric inside it too, so that'll be easy to get going. And then I did get a finished back. I had gotten this done. This was this actually came to me from a woman in Kentucky. I was on the Shepherd's Bush site, and she was so sweet. She had this pattern with the mat for sale, so of course I wanted it. And she sent this along with another Shepherd's Bush one, and she sent, and I hope I'm getting this right. If I'm not, I'm apologizing ahead of time and I'll figure it out. But she also sent another little nice piece of linen, gorgeous linen, so I'm really excited to work with that too. This one actually said, I don't think I brought that over with me, but this one actually said Rosy Spring or Rosy Garden. So I turned it into Spring Garden because that was more along the lines of what I was using it for. So I'm very happy with that. I have one of the small stitch kits with the mat in my bathroom, and it'll be fun to switch that out a little bit. So I can't wait to do the other one too, because it's a Christmas one. And I think I'm about finished with everything I had to tell you here. This is January. This is one I want to do next, but I got the fabric, and you know, I'm not really wild about this in green. So for me, that January is not, it's not green to me. So I was thinking maybe I would gather some suggestions from all of you. So if you have an idea of what you think might be a better color with this, I'm thinking blue is probably not going to do it because of the blue that's in there, though I could switch that out a little bit. I don't know, maybe kind of a rosy color, this kind of pale beige rose, or I think yellow's too springy. Gray may be a little too drab. I'm at a loss, so I'm not quite sure. So think about that. If you have some good suggestions, I am open for them. I think that is all of my news. Let me make sure I didn't miss something. Oh yeah, there was a Shepherd's Bush one. So that was the one I just finished up. So it still has some of that silk thread, and I love when Shepherd's Bush does that. They kit it up, especially if they include those mats. Those are just gorgeous. So Shepherd's Bush, please do more. And someone else, I'm not going to be able to find her name really quickly, but she left some comments on the FlossTube channel about Shepherd's Bush fold, and that is absolutely fascinating to me. Her name is Lisa Ernest, and she found out a couple of things. The Shepherd's Bush fold, apparently they did a whole series of those, but they're not in print anymore. So Shepherd's Bush, if you're going to do those again, I think they're great. They would be so fun to be part of that. And she also found out that Lavender and Lace is the mother of Nora Corbett. And she said Kyle told her that, and so Kyle, you need to write a fun fact book. I'm with Lisa. That would be a great idea. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm going to sign off so my husband can finish up dinner and we can eat. I'm sure he's starving. So thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.